face. The inside of Scummy Rick's made Caddick feel classic, indestructible, like a long-time gone black and white movie star, forever preserved in a channel reserved for grandmas. Even now at 3 in the morning. There was the red roll of stools, the white operating table countertop, grease bacon frying in his nose. The waitresses wore matching dirty aprons and slept in shifts, their heads flat on the counter. The place had been converted from a Waffle House years ago, and had been around long enough to where the ceiling tiles had yellowed from cigarette fog, and the neon sign up front had only a couple letters remaining. It was hot and wet, and the windows were sweating. Caddick and Ella sat in a booth in the back corner, facing out to the one-lane highway, invisible in the dark. Caddick didn't want to look back at the other people here, at the patrons who were forced to carry their terrible stories on their faces. An old man in his boxers reading Hustler at the counter. A table of drunk men wearing upside-down visors, passing around a picture on a cell phone and laughing. One of the waitresses had her head face down on the counter, spasming softly in her sleep. Caddick turned around for a moment and watched a cook talk to a waitress who pointed at their booth. There was something familiar about him. Maybe Caddick had seen him at a show or something. The cook looked about his age, 21, 22, tall and pale, with dirty dark hair that draped down to his neck. The waitress shrugged her shoulders, handed the cook her yellow order-taking pad, and undid her apron. "Do you think they are dead or sleeping?" Ella said, tapping her fingernails on a moth on the window. She had stringy red hair down to her butt and wore thick Egyptian makeup that extended off the edges of her large, wet eyeballs. Hundreds of insects, mosquitoes, love bugs, and moths were stuck to the outside of the wet windows, with their wings folded in. "I've never seen that guy before," said Caddick. "Must be new hirees in the kitchen." "Listen to me, I'm talking to you. You're always thinking about something else. I'm here, trying to ask you about the bugs." "Wait, what?" "You never pay it. Never mind." She reared back and banged the window with her fists, sending several of the insects flying off into the night, buzzing in circles. "Just pick something to eat." He picked up the menu and flipped it over, running his finger down it for something under $4. "I like the honesty of these menus," Caddick said. "They don't dress the food up all beautiful like they do at other places. No hiring professional photographers to come out and do makeup on the hamburgers. Look at that sandwich here. Those onions look like larvae. And that yellow mountain there is made of eggs," she said, pointing. "Say, girl! Say you with the red hat! Yeah, you!" Someone yelled from behind them, one of the drunk men from the table. "I know you hear me, girl! Look over here!" Ella turned to Caddick and grabbed his hand. Don't you look. Don't do anything. They're nothing but white trash. Let them yell. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit what they say?" Caddick shook her arm off and looked back at the voice. The 5 men in the booth were staring back at him. The man who yelled was shaped like a refrigerator in his oversized Oakland Raiders jacket, with silver teeth in his mouth and tattoos on his face. There were scars where his ears used to be. "That your girlfriend?" said the man across the room. One of the men was flipping open and closed a butterfly knife with an ivory handle. Another put his fingers in a V shape and rammed his tongue through it in a flopping fish motion. "We want to borrow her," he said, "just for an hour." All his friends laughed. Ella grabbed Caddick's arm and turned it back to her table. She picked up his bicep and spoke to it. "Don't worry about them. People are dumb, and I hate them, and don't worry about them. I think you are the strongest thing alive. You would grind all of them into liquid, easy." "Calm down, Caddick," she said, planting kisses on his arm. "Calm down. Yes, do that breathing exercise you learned off the internet. In, hold it, think of your positive thought for the day, and out. Good." Caddick's hands were shaking, so he slid them under the table. "I was talking to you, pussy," said the man to their backs. Caddick watched the insects in the window. I think bugs are like fish or ants. They can't sleep." He nodded his head. I'm okay. A-okay. Ella was squeezing his biceps with both hands. Look how muscular you're getting. Your arm keeps growing and growing. Maybe you could take out that guy. Have you ever used these things in a real fight?